Your customers are craving a great tasting, authentic pizza experience. That's why we offer Primo Molino Neapolitan style flour, an affordable, high performing flour that's a great alternative to imported Italian 00 flour. It's milled right here in North America, so you can always count on authentic crust texture and taste without the imported flour price. Using an imported flour today? Check out ardentmills.com to request a sample and try it for yourself.
And welcome back to Checking In With. Today, I'm sitting with Editor-in-Chief Jeremy White. Hey, Jeremy, what's up?
What up? How's it going, pizza people?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. We have a very awesome guest on the show this week. Janet Duran. She owns 550 Pizzeria. Hey, Janet, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. How are you guys?
Hey, Janet, look at that big smile, Denise. Someone in Laredo, Texas is very happy today.
Yes.
Well,
I love it.
Janet has reason to be happy. You know, she has opened her pizzeria in the middle of the pandemic. So I'm very excited to learn about, what you've done and how you've done it. So Janet, tell us about, opening 550 Pizzeria in June.
Oh, it's been a journey, but I did plan to open in the pandemic. No, it wasn't, nobody could have predicted this, but it's been quite a journey opening it. It's been very busy, and like a lot of people have told me that pizza is recession proof. So, and it's been proven. Yes.
Well,
so Janet,
awesome.
Let me get this straight, because we knew about the pandemic hitting the United States. We knew about January or so, right? So you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, June, middle of the pandemic, restaurants going out of business like crazy. This is a really excellent time to invest in opening a restaurant. That's what went through your mind. Am I hearing you correctly?
Kind of. No, I actually I signed my lease last October, and we started building, and everything was going as planned. And then January hit, pandemic. We're like, okay. I mean, it never crossed my mind until a week before. I was like, oh my God, we all have to wear a mask. Everything's super weird. That day of opening day, the congressman of Texas, he was here. He was here for the ribbon cutting, and he's like, how are you feeling with the pandemic? And I literally stood there like it was like
not good.
Yeah, I was like, this is like, it's true. Like, this is a pandemic. Like, oh my gosh. But you know what? It's been awesome. And it's
Wait
been
a minute.
awesome.
So the day you opened, you figured out this is a pandemic. Oh my gosh. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I literally stood there and I stared at him with like a blank face, like, you're right. Like, and you know what? I've been going forward. I've been moving forward from that day. I was like, oh well, what can I do? I'm here already. I'm already all in.
And
Denise, all joking aside though, we're teasing Janet a little bit, but all joking aside, as we've talked many times, pizza was the ideal food to survive this pandemic because of the nature of it lending itself to carry out and delivery so well. Good thing Janet didn't decide to open an oyster house or a steak house or something like that, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Janet and I were talking right before we hit record that the business is doing well. Can you share a little bit with us, Janet, about what's happened since your opening and how you've been able to kind of thrive during this time?
Well, what I've been trying to do a lot is help local local nurses that have been going through COVID, that have been helping out with COVID, working with it. I've been trying to help them out. Teachers, word of mouth. All of that has helped me get word of mouth of the 550. I don't do delivery, so it's all pickup or curbside dine-in. I only have a capacity of about 15 people that could fit in here. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a little bit more, but it's half the percentage that I could have. But yes, I've been trying to do, and I haven't done any specials. The only specials I've done is on like National Pizza Cheese Day or Pepperoni Day. But yeah, that's been helping a lot, just word of mouth. I barely even put a billboard up about a month ago, and it's been amazing. Like, and everybody like sees a billboard and they give us a call and they tell us like, oh my gosh, how did you even think of that? And it says dry slow for fresh dough.
I love that. That's
I
cool.
love it.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Now, I know you actually have had community support right from the get-go. I mean, I watched your ribbon cutting ceremony, and I think you had every official in Laredo area and the state, mind you,
Yes.
there. So how in the world did you get this much community support for your grand opening? And, you know, during a time when you have to be socially distant, how did you get those people there and distant?
Well, Laredo is not so big, but we're very close, we're very a very tight community. I also, when I started my pizza business, I did it from home, and a lot of those people were my customers. It was a very down low thing, you know, but they've all been there for me through these past 2 years. I used to make my pizza on a grill, on a barbecue grill.
Oh, wow.
One by one. Yeah.
That's
Janet, tell us
awesome.
about your pizza. Can you describe it to us? Is there a style that you would utilize when you're describing the type of pizza you make?
It's a New York style pizza. We do a hand tossed. We do also thin and crispy. The thin and crispy, we have to roll out the dough. Everyone thinks they're frozen because they're very thin, and I'm like, no, like we roll them out here in front of you guys and everything. But yeah.
And you've been a pizza maker for a long time, right?
Yes.
You've actually had a mentor and
Yes.
been wanting this dream for a long time. Can you share kind of how did you get from being a pizza maker to now living your dream and owning your own shop?
I started working as a cashier at Laredo Pizza Factory. It was all guys, it was all men. And, from there, I would watch my boss make pizza all the time. I'm gonna start crying. Like, I would watch him make pizza all the time. And, I used to tell him like, hey, do you think I can make pizza? And he's like, yes, you know, just like we'll teach you slowly. And like, you know, it would get busy, and I would just watch them. I would watch him and I would watch him make it, until one day I asked him, I was like, hey, I'm ready to make a pizza. And he's like, show me. And I was like, okay. I made it for him. He was like, oh my God, girl, what are you doing up front? You need to be back here with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And I started making pizza as fast as he could, you know. And the name 550 comes from all my years working there at Laredo Pizza Factory. The temperature was at 550, and he would always, like, when somebody new would come in, he would yell out like, Janet, what is the oven supposed to be on? And I'm like, 550. But like, that name, that number reminds me of everything he taught me, which is to always be humble and to work hard. And even if I'm tired, the day will come to an end where you go home and rest, and the next day you're gonna do better. He would always tell me like, you can't give up. You can't give up. If you want this dream, he would like pat me on the back, and he'd be like, you're gonna get there, just watch. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. Having a mentor like that is it's pivotal. You know, it makes your experience as you grow to being an owner. Did you take that with you as you've grown your staff? What is your leadership model like now that you have your own place?
Yeah, I tell them the same thing. I always tell them, like, because I have a lot of people. When these past 2 years, I had 17 people that wanted to. They wanted to, they're like, I will give you money to open right now. I will help you out. Like, we'll do half and half partnership. And I would always tell them like, no, I'm okay. You know, like, I'm going to try to do it on my own. You know, I'm going to try to do it on my own. And I tell all my employees, like, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, like, you need to go for it. Like, if you want, I have an employee that helps me make my dough. And he's like, I want to be a doctor. And I'm like, do it. Like, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. You keep studying. Like, don't give up. And he's like, I know, but like, now I see the restaurant business and I like it. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to start planning out what you want. Like the same, you know, I wrote down every idea. Like this green background, I wrote it down 8 years ago. I'm gonna have a green booth. You know what I mean? I'm like, write your ideas down, dude. And one day you're gonna see them. You're gonna see them. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like I'm here now. Yeah. And I always tell him, don't give up, don't give up. I'm like, just work hard, and it'll pay off.
I saw on your ribbon cutting that this has been 4 years in the making. So in that 4 years, what kind of take us through that process of, you know, building it out slow and organically to make this happen?
Like I had mentioned, I was at Pizza Factory, and Jeff, my mentor, he had moved to San Antonio, and he's like, I'm gonna sell my half to you. So he sold me his half, and things didn't work out with my other business partner, and I started making everything from home, only because I remember closing that day. It was the last day of Pizza Factory, and I went home and I was crying, and I said, man, I worked so hard. I worked to get here to this point, and I closed, you know. And my husband, which has been my number one supporter, he's like, you know, I mean, if you want to keep doing it, we'll see. We'll try to get a loan now. We'll try to do something to get back there. But I was always afraid. I was like, I don't even know. I don't have a business degree. I didn't go to school for this. You know what I mean? So I was kind of like, how am I going to do it? You know? And my customers looked for me on Facebook. They looked for me and they're like, hey, are you making pizza? And I'm like, no, you know, but I had a wood fired oven, and it was a little one, and I could only make 10-inch pizzas. And they're like, we'll take it. And word of mouth. And then that's when I started I was like, you know what, maybe we could do it on a grill, buy a pizza stone, you know, make large pizzas. And since I started making large pizzas, that took off like crazy. And I used to work for a news station in the morning. So I would work at 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then start at 2 to 10 p.m. making pizzas all day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's love.
Yes. And I perfected my pizza making skills, you know, my ingredients on what I wanted on pizzas, different toppings, until I found different ones that I'm like, perfect. This is what I want to make. This is going to be my menu. Yeah.
What a great story. What are your goals going forward, Janet? What, you know, if you look back 3, 4, 5 years from now, if you look back from your opening up until the current time, again, 3 or 4, 5 years down the road, what do you hope you will have accomplished by then?
I hope to have accomplished being open for so many years.
That's a great start.
Yes. Showing people how not to give up on your dreams, to keep moving forward. Great pizza. I can't think of anything else. There's just so many things, you know, that I hope to accomplish by then, to be able to have a Tuesday off.
Yeah, she did tell us this is their only day off today.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
A lot of people think that I just come and I, you know, watch and I'm just like, okay, bye. No, I'm on the line every day and I get here at 8 and I leave at 10 p.m. So
new business.
Yeah, my husband's a music teacher, and he comes to work with me in the afternoons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we're almost, I don't want to take up too much of your time because it is your day off. But let's go out on, you know, what is probably the most important thing you learned in the whole process of opening your restaurant? You know, what's that lesson learned that you can share with other operators or even prospective operators that are getting ready to do what you want to do, what you did?
Something that I never
Something
had
that you learned
is patience. Patience is, yeah, it's been very hard for me. I've always been very like, let's do this, hurry. But now that I'm here, I'm like, you need to have patience. And like I said, you need to always believe in yourself, no matter what. Always tell yourself, like, I'm going to do it. Like, and it's not like, oh, from one day to the next, like everything happened for me. No, you start doubt, you have self-doubt. You start telling yourself, like, what am I doing? Like, am I even doing the right thing? Like, if you have the passion for it, like, go for it, like, do it. That's one thing I could tell people, to have patience and to always believe in yourself.
I love that. How about you, Janet?
Well said. If this is the industry you want to be in, dive in, jump in.
Yes.
I
I love it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking time on your day off to talk
thank
to
you
us.
guys.
And wishing you the best success moving forward. And we can't wait to see what's next for you. So
yes, thank you guys so much for calling me.
so much. Absolutely.
Thanks, Janet.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.